Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Chasing Excellence with your host, Cathy Hogan. I am Amanda Marmolejo, and today I am going to be featuring the wonderful and beautiful host of this series. This series is an informative, educational, and entertaining series featuring people with unique professions. Again, today, Cathy Hogan is going to be highlighted on her own show. She is the owner and president of Cachet Corporate Gift Services, which has been around for 26 years. She is known by those in the community as a lifestyle maven. She is a very successful entrepreneur and a powerhouse woman at that. It is with great pleasure that I welcome your host to the show, Miss Cathy Hogan.
Hello, Amanda.
Welcome, Cathy.
Hey, how are you?
I am so excited for you and for this episode, for us to share with our listeners a little bit about this series, about the intention and conception of this series. Again, it is titled Chasing Excellence. And I've had the great fortune of knowing you for quite a long time, and excellence is something that I would definitely describe you as.
Oh, bless you.
The conception of the series.
Okay, well, as I mentioned before, we were thinking about how things were going during COVID, and there was so much negativity out there. Everything was gloom and doom, and people were just not handling things well. And I thought, there's got to be something else out there. There's got to be people that are accomplishing, that are going out and doing good things in the community or good things with their business. They're not just sitting by and feeling pity party. So that gave me the idea, and I thought, well, it's time to run with it. So that's what we're doing.
Woohoo! Well, I am thrilled to be a part of it, Cathy. Thank you so much for entrusting me with your partnership. I know you have a wide array of talented individuals already queued up. Who might we be hearing from on this series?
Well, I'm focusing on people who have jobs or professions that are outside the norm, things you may not have ever heard of or thought about before. We want it to be entertaining. We want it to be casual, like you're talking with a friend. And some of the people are musicians, actors, people in the wedding and event space.
Yeah.
Can't talk. Women in construction, all kinds of things. We've got all kinds of ideas lined up for these people, and you're going to learn a whole lot about things you didn't know you needed to know about.
I'm very excited, Cathy. Before the show, you and I were chatting a little bit about why this is so important to you to share this message, what chasing excellence means to you.
Okay. Chasing excellence to me, excellence, number one, does not mean perfection. Let's not get that confused, okay? Because you can be excellent. I don't personally want to be perfect. I'd rather be excellent because perfect's too high to attain, and excellence is always something you can work on. So I think every day you have an opportunity. When you wake up, it's a new day. You have a new opportunity to make your work better, your job better, your community better, and your personal life better, so that you're always striving to be excellent as opposed to perfect.
I love that.
Thank you.
There's so many excellent people out there who, like you said, fly below the radar. Now, I'm kind of got a little picture in my head of birds literally flying below, some point. What do you mean by flying below the radar?
Well, the uniqueness of the jobs or the professions. I'm not going to bring up what they are yet, but I've got some real interesting things that you might not think of as an interview potential, but I found them fascinating. And some things might be a little controversial. You'll never know.
Ooh, I look forward to those episodes.
Yeah.
Well, you yourself are an entrepreneur, and your company successfully has been around for 26 years. Share a little bit about your experience with leadership and how that's going to kind of tie into being the host of the series.
Well, like you said, I've been doing this for 26 years, and I am kind of a serial entrepreneur. I've had so many businesses, and I've got one of those brains that it's always churning, always cranking out new ideas for businesses. So this one I've had for 26 years, and it's been a fun one because I say that I don't do gifts. I teach businesses how to express authentic gratitude because that shows that you care about the recipient more so than just going to the store and buying something. We create specialty gifts, and also, it creates a better ROI because when they feel like they're appreciated, you get more business. So it's
I love
a win-win.
that. Yes. Well, I have been a faithful client of yours for several years now, and I can say that all of the folks that I have gifted with your creations have really, really enjoyed them. From professional to personal gives, they are outstanding. I have to brag on you here for just a second because you were recently featured in an article, and it was called Canvas Rebel. How exciting. And I actually have it here in front of me, and I'm seeing wonderful photos of you and all of your creations.
Well, this article, I've actually been featured in several since I started this, and that's how I got into the business. I went to a conference 26 years ago. Found out about that there was actually a conference for designing gifts. Who knew, right? And it was put on by a magazine. So I started winning awards for design, and they took notice and hired me to teach at the conventions a couple of times a year, and that went on for several years. That's how I got started with that. And then from that, another magazine, two other magazines picked me up and would do interviews, wanting my expertise on design and marketing. Fast forward to about a year ago, someone referred me to this magazine out in California, the Canvas Rebel, and they sent me an inquiry and did a short interview with me. And then she reached back out to me, I think in first part of December, and said, hey, we liked your interview from before. We want to go more in depth, and so we would like another interview. And that's how that came about. We just finished it up 2 weeks ago.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah.
I loved seeing that on your social media. For those of you wondering how you can find out more about Cachet Corporate Gift Services, or if you would like to peruse the website and possibly look at something for someone in your world, visit www.cachetcorporategifts.com.
You know what, Amanda, I think I was born as an entrepreneur because as far back as I can go, I was always creating things. When I was a kid, I would put on plays, I would do different shows, and I was always organizing groups in my neighborhood and recruiting the kids to be part of whatever I was doing. I think I probably annoyed the heck out of them, but it was just my creative side, and that's how I did that. How I started this was I was a real estate agent. I've been a real estate agent for 31 years, but I was going to closings for my builders and noticed that some of the agents were bringing gifts for closing gifts. And they weren't all that great, but it was a nice thought. So I kept looking and thinking, okay, I could do that. I could do better. I'm real creative. So started doing it, talked to my builders, and they said, yeah, go for it. And that's how it started basically in my real estate career. And I would do it for the agents, and then vendors would pick me up, like attorneys or title companies or any number of people after they saw what I was doing. And it just grew from there.
And your brand is well known throughout our community here. And I can say, again, it just the look on someone's face when they receive one of your creations, which is unlimited. One of the things I love so much is that you tailor it to that person's specific likes or needs.
Right.
So, for instance, you made gifts for my family one time, and I shared with you some of the things that they liked. They're a coffee lover, or they like tractors, whatever the case may be. And you made a whole themed gift around what they loved and just the joy on their face. And I also love that you insist that the giver gifts it on their own rather than you delivering it for that very purpose.
Exactly, because I'm used to this. After 26 years, I walk in and I get all the oohs and ahs, but that's hard to translate to the person who's sending it because they don't get that adoration, And I really suggest that they take it on their own because they get that, and then it makes sense. They see the excitement in the people.
Well, I love that smile on the face. Cathy, you're very active within the community. You participate with several nonprofits, too many to even list. I'd like to ask you how you stay sharp and how you maintain your balance in order to give to not only your family, your community, but your business, and now this series.
Mm-hmm. Well, sometimes I wonder about that myself. I'm one of those, the answer is yes, and now what was the question? I get myself in trouble a lot, but I don't know. I'm a type A+++, whatever that is, good, bad, or indifferent. If I've got one thing to do, I need 4 more. It just keeps me going. It keeps me sharp. Also, education. As a matter of fact, in January, that was my goal, to start the year taking classes on everything I could do, business classes, finance classes, things like that, but always sharpening the saw.
I like that, sharpening the saw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For those of you listening out there who might like to be involved with the series, we are actually seeking partners. If you'd like to learn more about what that partnership looks like, we would be happy to go into detail. This show is currently brought to you by Cachet Corporate Gift Services. And again, I encourage you to look up Cachet Corporate Gift Services online so you can see their full scope of business. And Cathy, as we're rounding the end of this first exciting episode, is there anything that you would like to leave our listeners with?
Life is not a spectator sport. We weren't meant to sit on the sidelines and watch it go by, but get involved, get engaged, create the all-star life that you deserve. Be fearless, friends. Until next time. I am your host, Cathy Hogan, and this is Chasing Excellence.